you might think she isn't interested. She doesn't flirt much, she doesn't chase you, and she stays calm and distant. Because of that, you assume there is nothing there. But sometimes there is a small behavior that many men miss, and if you notice it, you might realize she has been thinking about you more than she shows. You may believe she doesn't like you, but sometimes the signals are misunderstood. Many people think distance means disinterest and silence means someone has moved on. But in some situations, she might actually be thinking about you more than you realize. Sometimes when someone acts colder on the outside, it can mean they are trying to hide stronger feelings. Many men miss these signs and give up at the moment when she is still thinking about them and trying to understand her own feelings. There can be certain behaviors that reveal what is really happening, even when she seems calm, distant, or uninterested on the surface. Sometimes women hide their attraction. For example, she might take hours to reply to your messages. When you see her in person, she might act very casual, almost too casual. She might stop starting conversations, and when you talk, she treats you like you are just another person in her day. This can make you question everything and think you misunderstood the situation. But sometimes there is another explanation. When a woman feels strong attraction, she can also feel vulnerable. Because of that, her mind may try to protect her by creating distance. Instead of showing clear interest, she may hold back and watch how you behave. This can happen because of fear of rejection, fear of looking too eager, or fear of losing emotional control. So while she may seem distant on the outside, she might still be thinking about you privately. One sign of this is when she watches you when she thinks you are not looking. She might observe how you talk, how you behave, or who you interact with. If you suddenly look at her, she may quickly look away because she feels caught. Online, this can appear in small ways. She might view your stories very quickly after you post them, like older posts on your profile, or check your profile more often than expected. When someone repeatedly pays attention to what you are doing, it often means their mind keeps returning to you. Another sign is when she remembers small details about things you mentioned before. You might have told her about a presentation, your favorite band, or a small story from your childhood. Later, she brings it up again, even if it seemed unimportant at the time. Most people forget a large amount of what they hear within a short period. When someone remembers details like that, it can mean those conversations stayed in their mind and they thought about them again later. If she remembers things like what food you don't like, something about your family, or a random story you once mentioned, it can show that information about you became important enough for her mind to keep it. Sometimes that happens because she has been thinking about you more often than she lets you see. Her friends knowing about you can be a strong sign. If her friends mention you, exchange looks when you are around, or tease her when you walk in, it often means they have heard about you before. Sometimes one of them might almost say something like, "Oh, so you're the guy," and then stop. This happens because women often talk to their friends about the people they are thinking about. They share stories, ask for advice, and discuss conversations. If her friends recognize you even though you haven't spent much time with them, it usually means your name has come up many times in their conversations. Another confusing sign is when she contacts you randomly and then disappears again. She might send a random message, a meme, ask a small question, or say something reminded her of you. The conversation might feel normal and friendly. Then suddenly she stops replying for days. Many men think they did something wrong. But sometimes the reason is different. She reached out because you were on her mind. After she sends the message, she may start worrying that she looks too interested or too obvious. Because of that, she pulls back again. It can be a mix of wanting to talk to you and also wanting to protect her feelings. So she reaches out just enough to stay connected but then steps back again. Another thing to notice is whether she acts slightly different around you compared to other people. With others she may act normal and relaxed, but with you something changes. She might laugh a little more at your jokes, avoid eye contact more quickly, touch her hair, fidget with something in her hands, or seem a bit more careful with what she says. These small behaviors can happen when someone feels nervous or emotionally affected by a person. When someone truly doesn't care, their behavior is usually very neutral. When someone reacts differently around you, it can mean you affect them more than they want to show. Sometimes she may also test your reactions. She might casually mention another guy to see how you respond. She might cancel plans or suddenly become distant to see if you get upset, chase her, or stay calm. These are not always intentional games. Sometimes they are unconscious ways of figuring out your personality. She may be trying to see if you are confident, emotionally stable, and able to handle situations without overreacting. When someone is thinking seriously about another person, they often want to understand how that person behaves under pressure. Your reactions can show her whether you are confident or insecure. Situations like this can be confusing because people often want clear answers. But feelings and attraction are not always direct. Some people hold back because they are protecting themselves from getting hurt, instead of forcing answers.